strategy that's used a lot to avoid that is to go against defense instead of taking the center. Like that's you cannot get attacked by your back when your back is to defense.
We haven't seen a lot of teams playing on the fence this year. They seem to be wanting to fight more open field. A little bit yesterday of it breaking into battles along the fence. We got a lot of open field fights this year, which
Yeah.
is different than what we've seen in the past.
I thought yesterday I was amazed by the capacity of Spanish to hold the center of the field and not fall in the center.
All these teams look greatly improved over what we've seen from past years. I fought against the Spanish team in Belmonte, and I put four of them down by myself. I don't think I'd be doing that this year.
No, no, definitely.
The referees now are checking the Canadian team, and we have Canada and France. Geez, that would be a tough one to figure out who you're going to root for, right?
I am not stating anything on that one.
Okay.
But no, it's good. That's going to be an interesting fight. The Canadian have been trained by Jose. They came silver last year with Pole Arm. I had a chance to fight against them this winter. They're very fast and very aggressive. And I was actually surprised. We were expecting them not to be that good to start.
Sweden and France prepare for the 5-on-5.
Get little adjustments here on our equipment.
5 minutes breaks for
Our audio technicians here are local students from Portugal.
The Technical College of Portugal.
The Technical College of Portugal. We want to thank them. They're up here in the booth with us running the mixing console, making sure that we sound good and come out over the airwaves, and we certainly appreciate their help.
Oh, they've been doing a tremendous job since the beginning of this tournament.
All right. We've got a very strong French team this year. They've performed very well in past tournaments. The Canadian team,
Brand new for most of them.
brand new for most of them. They've got very sharp new tabards. I like that design. Very striking.
Yes. I can't wait to see them fight on international scale. I saw them on local scale. Can't wait to see how they're going to look today.
And it's again the French people yelling French things, which we commented on yesterday.
Yeah, that's Mon Joie. It's actually a war cry for the King of France,
And what
back
does
to the
that mean?
Crusades.
Check. Can you still hear me? Sound like my mic just went off.
Yeah, no, you're on.
Okay, good.
Oh, Canadian are taking one side, 3, and on the right side 2, taking their time.
Here's the first engagement.
They are engagement against defense to the left, just holding them there.
Oh,
Ooh, on the center, one of the gaining fall.
quick takedown there.
Oh, that's Kirill in the center. That just went down. Julien's on fire. That guy hits so hard with his axe.
Oh, we've got a Canadian trapped over here on the
Ooh,
side.
that hurts.
And we've got two in the open field and the backfield, though.
What's funny is that the French team this year, the French won the round.
Are you still hearing me? Because my mic seems to be cutting out.
No,
You hearing me okay?
I hear you
Okay.
perfectly.
All right, well, we'll just, let me know if it fades out, and we'll do something to fix it. But it just lost me in my feed, so.
Okay, no problem. Canadian got a good beating on that one.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is that there's only one veteran on the French team this year.
Really?
They're all new guys. They never experienced anything to this scale before. They're in for the first time. I think there's 2 fighters in there that haven't even fought before.
Wow.
But they're led up by Julien Roumeau, who's the guy with the 2-hand axe. For having fought him a few times, this guy hits like a monster.
Nice.
And he's a really, really good fighter. So he's really preparing his team the right way.
Excellent. Well, we'll also be seeing France as one of the 3 teams in the 16-on-16 on Sunday,
I can't wait to see that.
along with Spain and the United States.
I think you're fighting in that
I
one,
am
right?
fighting in that one.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Command on the left side with Lance Hoffman.
Oh, lovely.
Referees checking things. Kind of an interesting axe there, Benoit. The Canadian gentleman using a very large, sort of bearded axe. The third one in on this side. It's something you don't generally see.
I can't see the end of
it's,
the...
there it is. See,
Ooh,
a very, very interesting choice.
let's see. That would be great for hooking. I
It'd
don't know
be
if he's
very
going to
great
use
for
it that
hooking.
way.
Striking, I'm not sure how that would work, but
Let's see how he use it. I'd be afraid of that getting cut in my shield if I was fighting against him.
I agree. French seem to be making a move.
French are using defense on one side, which is actually very good. They're protecting their back that way.
Yep, they've got both sides shut down, and they've got one man in the center if someone attempts to make a run. Taking their time.
They're very calm, really taking their time, really controlling the field. It's nice.
They're now collapsing in on the Canadian team.
Yep.
A wrestling match over on the fence. And here comes the big man with the axe.
Nobody's falling yet.
Nobody's giving an inch here. We've got a one-on-one in the backfield. One of the French fighters coming over to assist. Comes in with a kick, almost falls down.
Oh, one Canadian is down.
But he put the
Big
Canadian
X to
down.
the head. Another Canadian down. The bearded X is down. Oh,
And
one
it
on
is
one.
now a
2-on-1.
3-on-1, and that's
Oh,
it.
sorry. Didn't notice 3. French looks a lot tougher than I first thought they would be for new guys.
They're fighting well.
Their strategy is really sound, using defense to defend their back.
Now I'm wondering with the Canadian gentleman that was down, from my vantage point, that looked like a pretty vicious kick to the knee from the French fighter. I don't know if any of the referees saw that or if we're able to see that on the live feed at home, but I do hope he is all right.
Well, at least he can stand.
Well, he's back up.
Well, when we were talking about the beard on the axe, he didn't use it to hook, but he got cut a few times in his opponent's shield, which is, when you have anything with a hook on it, it's always a two-edged weapon. You can get cut as much as you can use it to hit the other guy.
Absolutely.
And in this case, it really played him a dirty trick.
That's, weapon selection is so crucial to your fighting style. I was just with some of my fighters up at one of the booths that's selling weapons and going over strengths and disadvantages of each weapon. A lot of things that, especially for those of you at home watching that haven't done this before that you think would work really well end up not working at all. It's like a great sword. Great sword looks like it would be a fantastic weapon, but you have all the disadvantages of an axe, of a longer axe without the striking power. So not really the best choice. I learned
And also
that the
not a
hard way.
great handle to try to,
Yes.
grapple your opponent to the floor if you need to.
Well, and the problem is with that, even if you put it around their neck, that if they're just wearing a pelerine, a padded collar, it can often slide up under that, and that's an illegal move. So you have to be
Exactly.
really careful. Where with an axe handle, because it's wider and rounder, it's not as likely to do that.
It might happen, but it won't be as likely.
All right, let's see who they're staging now. I can see the gentleman beneath me. I'm not sure what team he is for. It looks like he's from Sweden. Has an amazing
The fur collar.
fur collar on under a Russian helmet. One of the Byzantine Eastern European style helmets. It's quite a look. Striking. Haven't seen that one before. I'm not sure out there with as hot as it gets and as hot as you get, I'd be wearing fur.
Honestly, if I was Swedish, I wouldn't be wearing fur in Portugal, but that would be my choice.
Maybe if I was fighting in Sweden.
Yeah. Well, just coming from Quebec, that actually the heat has been a big issue for fighter from the north.
Oh, I'm sure.
In general, for us, yesterday was even worse.
All right, well, we're going to cut out for just a minute here while they restage the fighters, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Stick with us here. 2016 IMCF World Championship in Portugal.
Sweden and France, come to the arena, please.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the 2016 IMCF World Championship in beautiful Vale.
Not as sunny Portugal anymore.
Sunny Portugal. Well, it's not sunny at the moment. A little better for our fighters. We currently have on the field France and Sweden. Sweden on the near side in the blue with the gold. France on the far side with looks like crosses, but I believe those are fleur-de-lis.
They're fleur-de-lis, actually.
Fleur-de-lis.
The three gold and fleur-de-lis for the flag of the King of France.
Now you can see the Swedish fighter has the big fur collar, which is quite a fashion accessory. The Swedes look like they're going to try to push, from our perspective, the right side.
Yeah, 4 on the right side, 1 on the left. Different strategy. I haven't seen this one used very often. Oh, going straight center. Oh, he's being welcomed hard.
Oh, and that's...
Oh, he lost a piece of armor.
Lost a large piece of armor.
That's a shin guard, actually.
Was it a shin guard?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't tell. It looked like it might have been a van brace.
No, it's definitely like... Oh, down is the Swedish on that one.
All right, we are now down to... We have...
Oh, that was dirty. That was after the bell.
Well, actually, I don't think they should have blown that whistle because we still had 2 Swedes up.
Oh, I thought it was only 1 up.
No, the gentleman in the Eastern kit with the sash.
Oh, okay.
Is
I
also
thought he was
Swedish.
down.
Yep. Well, that's why it gets confusing when people decide to do things other than the tabard of their national team. And I am aware that with some armor kits that wouldn't be historically accurate, but it makes it awful tough on the battlefield to figure out who's who.
Yeah, especially if you have a full field like that, full team.
And everyone's in blue. It's Quebec's in blue, Sweden's in blue, France is in blue, Scotland's in blue.
In this case, 2 blue and yellow, so it gets really quickly confusing. I wouldn't want to be the ref on that one.
Yeah, a little difficult. And you know, the thing of it is you try to be as good as you can, but occasionally you see blue and yellow, and you have to think for a second, well, which team is this? Because I got 6 teams in blue and yellow. Interesting choice here by the one Swedish fighter. He's got a shield mounted on his back.
Well, we'll avoid you to get a lot of damage from polearm, but at the same time, you lose a lot of movement. I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe he just has really bad armor on his back.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that wouldn't be my choice, but...
Me neither.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Oh, same strategy on both sides. 3 and 2. Using defense for the Swedish. Oh, switching sides. Oh, good attack on the back.
Yeah, was not able to capitalize on that, though. It looked like he pulled off his strike right at the end because the big Frenchman with the pole axe was
He's
closing
doing damage.
Lost
a weapon for
we
Swedish.
have one of the Swedes has lost a weapon. Ooh. Now has an axe in his hands.
Axe is broken for the French.
And we've had another weapon go flying.
It broke,
off
actually.
One of the French. And this Swedish guy, that might be a magic axe because he seems pretty much reinvigorated after that.
Yeah.
Sweden plays their cards right. They've got numbers in position. They could pull this out. I believe the French fighter in the corner has no weapon.
His axe broke, actually, so.
It broke?
Yeah, he got a new one now. He's got the pole axe in his arm right now. Ooh, that was a nasty hit.
So
the French just took a nasty
hit. The 2
hit.
Swedes here could definitely capitalize on having the one French fighter in the corner. The referees are making a call.
Oh. Okay, they split them. They've been inactive for too long in the corner. Oh, this is a tiresome round.
The Swedes need to put this. Oh, and they put him down. They now have numbers. They need to get back in that fight. This is where you have to dig deep and help your countrymen. If one of them makes a run with a solid kick,
is it me or is it 4 against 1 now? It's 4 against 1. The referee should stop the fight. 4 against 1.
No, there's
2. There's 2 of them. You're right.
That's why we don't make the calls from up here.
No, we don't see everything. Oh, that's a huge pileup.
Oh, and the Swedes are dropping the pain. The Frenchman is using the rail, trying to sit on it, but he's got a lot of Swedes around him right now.
But they're doing a great job. They're sitting in that corner, just holding on. I mean, even if you lose that round, you just tired up almost the whole team in one shot.
They're not letting him get any of the big shots in. playing a very defensive
nice
game.
kick.
The Swedes are attempting to sweep the leg on the one French fighter. Not very successfully. Now we're moving out of the corner a little bit. We basically have two 2-on-1s. French team holding up remarkably well.
They're good. Wow.
There's some tough fighters in there right now.
They won't let go.
Oh, and they get one of the Swedes down.
No way. This is amazing. Oh, now he's stuck with an axe to the face. Oh, stop the fight. No.
No, they're still going. They're trying to put the one Frenchman down. He is having none of that.
Well, there's still two guys standing. The other guy's still against the fence. Now he's down.
This is where it gets really difficult and dangerous for the referees because you've got a lot of bodies, a lot of weapons swinging, difficult to make calls.
Well,
they're attempting to sort something out here. And it looks like it ended up a 3-on-1. Sweden takes the round.
But they didn't take that one easy.
No, that was not an easy victory,
That
but
was a long
not at
stretch
all.
fight.
My gosh.
And, you know, when it's a second round like this, you know you probably tired the other team. Which team is going to be able to survive? Because right now, it turned from a sprint into a marathon.
Exactly. And now we have, they have to go a third round. They'll be substituting people definitely, but you had 4 of the Swedes on the field almost the entire time engaged, where the 2 French fighters were able to keep them, engaged and keep them working. So, you have 8 people on a 5-man team, so you can swap out your 2 guys that got really tired in that, and the Swedes don't really have that opportunity.
Now they only have 1 guy left in their pool, basically.
Oh, do they really?
Well, if you switch to 4 guys, you
Yes,
don't have
yeah,
that much guys left.
A lot of times your lineup in the second and third rounds depend on who was engaged the longest.
Yep. And in this case, Sweden, it's really going to be a marathon for the third
It's
round.
going to be very hard for them. Cloud cover keeps rolling in. Feels like it might rain here.
Well, I know they were announcing some for the next for today and tomorrow. Actually, a bit afraid of tomorrow. They're announcing storms, so let's cross our fingers.
Referee is cautioning the Swedish fighter on prohibited techniques.
Yeah, one of the prohibited techniques that happens a lot accidentally is the axe or the weapon. You're not supposed to have it under the brim, the helmet, or across the neck, and it's really hard not to do that.
Well, because you
'Cause
can't
it's
see
slit.
it. Yeah, you can't see from your perspective. And you may think, from your perspective that you have a perfectly legal hold and not realize that it's slid under a pelerine or an aventail, and now you are in a prohibited technique.
Exactly, and it slips so easily on those helmets. The only way you can prevent that when you fight is actually squeezing your elbow real tight together. That's the only technique that really works, but at the same time, there's no perfect technique to prevent that.
And the first raindrops start falling here in beautiful Mount Morvejo, which is going to be rainy Mount Morvejo in just a second. Making some moves here to keep things dry.
Especially our monitor.
Yeah,
The last thing we'd want is a wet monitor.
And the fight has
Oh,
begun.
it's-
Sorry, we were trying to cover some stuff up here. We kind of missed the beginning part of that.
Oh, one of the French
there's one
directly on the
Frenchman
floor.
down already.
Yep, very aggressive Swedish fighter went to the corner to take him
The
down.
Swedish fighters, I think when that guy picked up that magic axe, he got really invigorated.
Yep, big time. And the fur collar guy is hitting really hard with that small axe. Gets you for the reaction.
And now we have one of the Swedes down, so we're 4-on-4.
Oh, there's one French there that is really taking a beating in that corner with that little axe right to the hip. Right where his little armor. But he's fighting back.
Oh! And the gentleman with the fur collar from Sweden comes through with a big takedown on the French fighter. It goes to work on the hip of the other French fighter. We are actually getting hail.
Sounds like
And Sweden
Wow.
takes the round. That's a little surprising, wouldn't you say, Benoit?
that was a bit of an upset. From the first round, I'd never believed it. On the second round, I thought they were dead tired after that. But it
absolutely.
really went out to beat up the French. They're surprisingly good and strong, and their cardio is, wow,
Excellent.
it's
Excellent.
excellent.
Because you can be, as I said yesterday, those of you who were listening to the feed yesterday, it's always a difficult choice between more muscle, because if you have more muscle, you are of course stronger, but you also burn a lot of energy. Oh, it's raining pretty.
Oh, it's hard now. It's well.
It is blowing and really unpleasant at the moment. Yikes.
Okay, we're gonna be quite wet there.
Yeah. Hopefully this will blow over. Our audio technicians are trying to protect our equipment as much as possible. But I'm sure you can see on the feed that the rain is battering us at the moment.
I don't think we're gonna be stopping for the next round. I think we're still gonna go in for our next round. I don't know if we're gonna be able to present it, mind you. Because personally, with glasses, there's not much you can see anymore. I need wipers on those things.
Yeah. It's.
But it looks like it's
the
going
wind
to
is
be
blowing hard
Austria.
enough here that it's taking the top cover off of our audio equipment. So it is. The storm is definitely whipped up.
So it's going to be Canada against Austria right now.
It's in the rain.
Or for a Canadian fighter, that would be a blessing right now.
Yeah. Well, when you're out there in the armor, the rain really serves to keep you cool.
Yeah. Also makes you heavy on the gambazon.
Yes, that's true. Yes, your Amazon gets, well, I sweat so much my canvas is wet no matter what I do, so.
Welcome to my club. Canadian team, most of them come from Yukon. So you can talk cold. When they got to Montemor, when I crossed them on the first day we were here, they were just sitting down and said, it's too hot. We won't be able to fight. But no, they've done pretty well. So.
And they're back out.
They lost their first fight to France. Let's see what they can do against Austria. Austria has tons of experience.
This rain is really cold and really pelting and really unpleasant.
I wish I was still wearing my armor right now.
Attempt to take. No, there's no shelter up here at all. I tried to get behind one of the crenellations and maybe block a little bit of it so I don't lose my headset.
And the fight has started.
All right.
Canada has 4 guys on the left, 1 guy in the center. And one of the Austrian went. Ooh, one of the Canada down with the Austrian. 2 Canadian down. 2-on-1. Ooh, okay. Hard to describe. It's all against defense.
Yep, they're all against the fence, fighting it out.
3 versus 3.
We are trying desperately to keep our equipment dry up here so we can continue broadcasting. But if all of a sudden we disappear,
So
I would guess that's what happened.
So it's 3 against 2 now. 2-hand axe fight on the far left corner. 3-on-1.
All right. And Austria takes that round.
It's water, it's ale, it's everything.
Trying to keep my headset dry currently by using a chair as an umbrella.
Actually, this is something the crew should actually film.
Yeah, this is quite a vision. Benoit and I up here. Benoit
With our
from
chairs
Quebec.
on our head.
I'm from the United States, and we have chairs on our heads currently, attempting to keep our headsets dry.
Well, fighting and doing sports on the outside and commentating on that, you'll have those type of situations all the time.
Very true.
Actually, the crowd all ran away at once, which is kind of sad, but
well,
it's
the rain
great
is
photo
really
opportunity.
coming down. It seems to be letting up a little bit. It looks like there's some blue sky right behind it, and we're hoping for that.
Yeah, I would like that because it's kind of cold here.
Yeah, it's a little chilly.
All right, so Austria got the first round, and we're going in for the second.
I'm hoping somebody's getting a picture of us with our chair hats. It's pretty ridiculous.
I'm not sure I want to see that. All right, and it starts.
Okay, rain is letting up. Here they come. Austria coming
Austria
out hard.
really aggressive. Well, that poleaxe is, it's going to make a lot of damage if they don't stop him. And good move by the Canadian, blocking the pole arm guy right away.
That is a
Ooh, that's a nasty pile up.
We have an Austrian down. We have a Canadian
2 Canadian down, 1 Austrian. 3 Canadian down. They're taking them down at will.
Oh, and that stop fight.
Yeah. See, that's the problem when you're dead center. If you turn your back to your opponent, it's going to play you a dirty trick.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened to the Canadian right there.
I'm surprised. A very common technique for the United States team, and I know for Quebec as well, is drive right to the rail and set up on the rail and make them come and try to dig you out. But we're not seeing a lot of that.
Well, the thing, and I talk for the U.S. team and the Quebec team here. We're usually older gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're lazy bums. Actually, no. But the thing is that being older, to me, I don't have that will to run across past my 40s. So I much prefer going against the rail and
Yes.
taking my sweet time
Yep.
and being safe.
Well,
Mind
and
you, if when I was 20, I would be one to
yeah.
run across that field just to bump into somebody.
Well, and it depends too on the physical build of your team.
Exactly.
The United States team tends to be very large and very strong,
Same thing
and
with Quebec team right now. We got four large individuals,
right.
strong individual to play with.
So it's a different game. If you have a team that's light, fast, good runners, you're probably going to play a speed game.
Canadian have right now, from the way I look at it, and from the past experience with them, they're really fast, and they haven't used that much, especially in the second round. They were not using it. They let the Austrian come to them,
Exactly.
which is for a team that can run that much, that can move that much, probably not a good idea.
No, absolutely not.
Although the Austrian played it well, they just cut the field on them and pressured them
Yep.
in a position where they're not going to be able to fight as well.
Well, looks like we got some nice blue sky coming, but it's still a little bit rainy here. Luckily, nothing is shorted out yet. I assume our feed is still going.
All I know is I can hear you, you can hear
That's
me,
right.
everything is good.
Now, for those of you who are watching at home, we don't always see what you're seeing because they're changing the feed and things, and so we're doing our best to commentate on what you're watching. But it's our perspective is a little different. We try to keep up. We have a monitor here, but it is very
Covered.
difficult to see. Yeah, it's covered right now.
So we're going to describe more of a general scene than what you might see with close-ups.
All right.
So the Austrian are taking the field again. They don't even look tired. That's
No,
scary.
not at all. Not at all. Very powerful Austrian team this year.
They have lots of experience. I mean, those guys, and they tour around Europe to fight all the time, and they're good. I'm always surprised when I see them fight. I know they're good, but every time I'm like, they're going up a notch. I can't wait to see them. Are they doing the 10 and 10 this year? I think so, huh?
I'm not sure, but I believe so.
Because last year they did very well in 10 and 10.
10 on 10 is kind of an interesting animal. It's it doesn't quite have the speed of the 5s, and it doesn't have the complex strategy of the 16s. It's always interesting to watch, and it's new for only the last 2 years, correct?
Yeah, we started that last year in
Poland,
2015
yes.
in
So
Malbork, and it became quickly one of the crowd favorites,
Oh,
actually,
absolutely.
because you have close to the speed of a really fast 5 versus 5. You have strategies, and you have those moments where suddenly there's 4 guys taking down 1 guy. You have the big play, and with the big field that we have with the IMCF, this one is 13 meters by 16 meters. You have a lot of room, even for 10 guys, to move around and do nice maneuvers.
Oh yeah, it's a very large field. The beautiful rail system around it.
The rail is this year has been made higher than the past years.
It does look higher.
And the bottom one is at the same height as usual, so sometimes your butt stick out, and you got to watch out, because when you're leaning on that, you can be bent in that hold pretty hard and then get it beat up.
And that's not good for your back.
Or your face, because then
Yeah,
they tend
that's
to
true.
beat your face when you're sitting on that fence.
Okay, so we have an Austrian team in. I am guessing they're going to fight France.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
That's what it looks like. Gentleman coming on.
Yeah, that's France that's coming in.
Coming in a Bertage helmet. That's got the nasal piece. So
Right now, it's one of the fighters' favorite, because there's a lot of hair.
Yes.
You can breathe in that
Yes.
one more than the average club visor.
Yep, very true.
At the same time, your eyes, and you're a bit more exposed, and it's closer to the face. So if you get a big hit, you might taste metal.
Well, and it's interesting because with the Armored Combat League in the United States, we have a slightly different rule set, just given the nature of our country. And I've had a lot of my fighters comment to me today, are those eyes legal on those? I'm like, well, yes, under IMCF rules they are. They would not meet Armored Combat League spec, but slightly different rule set.
Yeah. So far, we haven't had real much issues, eye injuries, at least in Europe. So, and there's a guy with a wolf rib. Personally, I owned an helmet like that. I got afraid a few times.
Yes.
But I think the mentality is, I can breathe, I can see, I'll take the damage if there's anything happening. So they start.
All right. France moved forward. Austria, they're meeting at midfield. A little cross action there.
Taking time
Good
to study each
engagement,
other, a
attempted
little
leg sweep.
engagement. That French looks a bit lost. Well, Austria didn't capitalize Ooh, good attack by the French taken.
Oh, and they have the French have one of the Austrians down. They now
And
have,
the Austrian, oh, he's down with him. His knee is on him. He's down, he's down. The rule is if it's only your hand and you don't put pressure, you're okay. But since your knee was in it, you're allowed. You have 3 points. Ooh, the French are
we have
really
a
bringing it to
4-on-1. They
4-1.
should be stopping the fight.
And
And
they
they do.
stopped.
France.
Wow.
Surprising.
That French team, it has a lot of future.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, they're surprisingly good. Other thing that really, really amazed me is the growth of France in the sport. They got hundreds of armored fighter right now ready to fight.
Really?
Yeah, they're big enough that they're doing this, and also at the same time, as they have the team here, the national team here, they got a big local tournament at the same time on the same weekend.
Wow.
That's how big they are now.
Nice.
It's really picking up in France. So,
Well, the rain has stopped. Looks like the sun's coming out a little bit. We're pretty damp up
ooh,
here.
and that chair was wet.
Yeah, that's why I shook mine off first.
I did that too, but apparently
you
not
did
as good as you.
Well, I might have more layers on too. I'm probably just soaking my tabard here. All right, we are ready for round 2. France is up 1 against Austria.
And a big one too.
Yeah,
4-1.
decisive
It's
4-1 victory.
Yeah.
No questions on that. Crowd is starting to come back with the sunshine coming out.
Last chin strap check.
Yep.
That's
That's
also
one of the
in
things that is required is a chin strap, is some sort of retention system for your helmet, because if
There's-
your helmet comes off out here, that's on the good bad scale, that's way on the bad scale.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thing is, there's different system of retention for the helmet. The chin strap. I know you're American. You really use the chin strap. We personally use a lot of neck strap. I know Polish last year were using the strap, the helmet directly to the armor.
Right.
So back to the same strategy as before, but the Austrian are more aggressive this time. Ooh,
Ooh, and we have one Austrian down
One
already,
down.
and we've got a
Alright.
double team with some big axe hits.
oh, that's gonna hurt.
He's going to be feeling that in the morning.
Oh yeah.
French pulls another Austrian
Wow.
down with a good
Look at those hits.
takedown.
Ooh, that's hard. Armor,
Checks his teammates.
good kicks to the leg.
And the
3-on-1,
French take
stop
round
that.
2.
I'm actually happy the ref stops it right away because that poor guy was taking a beating.
Yes.
Those are strong hit.
Well, anytime somebody's got the leverage of a large axe like that, you're getting hit, and you're getting hit hard.
And repeatedly, which is a problem.
Yes. You know, all the armor protects, and that's one of the things that we have definitely learned in our time doing this, that armor is very protective. However, any armor system can be defeated with multiple strikes.
Yeah, basically, when you don't want to be treated as an anvil for an axe like that.
Exactly not. It's interesting for those of you at home who aren't that familiar with the sport or armored combat in general. There are a lot of misconceptions, basically brought about by Hollywood movies, that swords have the ability to cut through armor. Well, if swords could cut through armor, why would knights have worn armor? Because it's heavy and expensive and
Uncomfortable.
yeah, and uncomfortable oftentimes, but it definitely protects you against these types of weapons. Now, other people have said that, well, the weapons are blunted, so that's not realistic. Well, you can go out with a knife and try to cut the fender off your car and have a sharp weapon, and it's still not going to do a whole lot of damage to get through the weapon. No, what you saw in later period times, or as things started to evolve and armor started to get better, was weapons like, bec de Corbin, the Raven's Beak, that were designed to punch through armor, war hammers that have so much impact power that even if your helmet protects you from it, you're going to be knocked senseless.
Literally. We have
yeah.
a few videos of the Polish actually back home fight with war armor. I'm actually afraid of those weapons. Guys using it properly knock each other's out in a blink of an eye.
I mean, at our first national tournament last year, Jay Brooks from the United States team hit me right behind the ear with his two-handed axe, and I dropped like a marionette with my strings cut. I was out, and I can't even imagine what that would have been like had that been a heavy war hammer.
You probably wouldn't be here talking in a microphone.
Well, I probably wouldn't be talking, or it wouldn't be making much sense.
Or just
as
drooling, actually.
as it was, he hit me so hard he knocked third grade entirely out of my head.
Wow, that's hard.
Luckily, you don't learn a lot in that grade.
No, and it's
My
not.
coloring skills were never good to begin with.
That's okay. As long as you're not the early 20s, you do that by yourself usually with
That's the
different
important
products.
stuff. All right, so we have Scotland in the St. Andrew's Cross
And Canada on this side.
making the checks on the Scottish team.
Later today, we have another pool that's going to be very interesting as well, where you have, I think, three of the strongest team on the same bloody pool.
I know Denmark's in that, isn't you?
Denmark, Poland, and UK.
Yeah, excellent.
With New Zealand and Portugal.
Wow, that's going to be a baptism of fire for the Portugal team. This is their first year in the competition, is it not?
No. They've been around with us for a while, but I don't remember if they did 5 versus
That's
5
what I'm
last
thinking.
year.
The 5-on-5. I don't remember seeing Portugal before.
They did duels all the time.
Yes,
I don't remember
yeah,
if they did
I know they had
5-on-5.
single fighters, but I think this is their first year in the 5-on-5. Now I may be wrong about that, but
I'm trying to remember right now. We had all those on paper, but the rain took care of that.
the rain eliminated all of our sheets of information.
So any notes we should have, they're gone.
We don't have them anymore. So we're just gonna be making up stuff at this
Yeah,
point.
it's easy with Scottish names. We just put a Mac before
Yes,
you're okay.
right.
Canadian, we can call them all A. And that was my.
Hey, I got yelled at by one of the Quebec people at home watching, who said to Eli, who is our other announcer, that it's Quebecois, not Quebecians.
Quebecians, yeah, that was a good one.
He said, "I'm from New Zealand. What am I supposed to know about that?"
Yeah, that's Eli. So Scotland on one side. I haven't seen them fight so far this year, so.
England, Portugal, Poland, and Ireland will advance. Again,
They're announcing something. We're trying to
Longsword, they're getting
This
ready
is
for
the
longsword.
beginning of
This
longswords.
pool is about to be over, then we're going to move to longswords. All right, Canadians are deploying, as well as Scotland. Scotland look heavy.
Yeah, they've got some good-sized boys out there, especially the gentleman on what would be our right.
Oh, this
closest
is
to the
good. The
audience.
Canadian are moving to the left and trying to make a move around.
Quick exchange.
Quick change, but he should have went in a bit harder than that, I believe. That's good.
Oh, and the Scottish fighter got hit hard, moving sideways, and he's down. We have 2 Scottish fighters down. 3-4, and that's the end of that. Canada, decisive victory over Scotland.
Big time. I know Scottish fighters also on this team this year are a lot of new guys. A lot of them are on their first experience in an international tournament. Oh, he lost a piece of armor there.
The Scottish team last year, a great majority of them had just received their armor before they left for Poland.
Ooh,
and
yeah,
some
I
of them had
remember
not
that.
even had it on yet.
Some were ill-fitting as well,
Uh,
which is going to be normal when you buy a new armor.
Exactly. Your armor basically takes a great deal of time to shake out to get everything working properly, especially with your arming coat, your gambeson, making sure that your gauntlets fit correctly with your vambraces, your arm pieces, and it has to work together as a system. Now, I finally got my armor shaken out, so it fits great, works great, and I'm retiring after this tournament, so that's about how it works out.
It's funny because mine took about a year and a half to finally work. As I was doing today, yesterday I was almost dancing on the field. It's like, this is so good, I can finally move. And somebody broke 2 pieces out of it, so I got to
always.
readjust everything before tomorrow. So,
Your team did very well yesterday. They swept their
Well,
division.
we have a great chance this year, for us at least, to train together for the first time more than once before the World Championship. So we had amazing cohesion. At least that's how it felt on the field, where everybody knew its role, everybody knew where it was going. There was no hesitation. See, that's one thing I noticed on the Scottish as well right now, is that they had hesitation to go in.
Absolutely.
And you can't allow yourself to have hesitation when you fight. You have to go in. If you want to hit the guy, you go right away. You don't hesitate. You you go full in.
Yeah, they look a little hesitant out
Yeah,
there.
now they got control.
And the other problem is the
mistake.
gentleman who's wearing the chapeau de fur, the iron hat,
Ooh, he
just
tripped.
finished the longsword competition where he went 8 rounds. So that man has to be tired.
Oh, he's not tired there. He's dead.
Yeah. But he's still fighting. He's got 2 Canadians on him right now, and he is scrapping it up out there.
He's scrappy. I can see that. Wow.
Oh, nice try by the Canadian, but the Scottish fighter manages to keep his feet. All right, we're down. We've got 4 Canadians, 5 Canadians still up, and that's the end of that. Scottish fighter goes down.
So 5-1. This is very decisive there. Scotland did not know what hit them right here.
No, they did not. They looked a little hesitant out there. The Canadian team capitalized on that immediately. In the 5-on-5s, if you make sometimes just a single mistake, a single person going down will mess up your situation, and you can lose it very quickly.
Well, one thing they did there was and it happens a lot of time when you're not sure what you're doing. They grouped up right in the center, and they got completely run around by one of the Canadian, and he's behind you. There's not much you can do anymore. You know somebody's gonna fall, and then it's a domino game at that point.
Absolutely. That may be the last of our fights in the 5-on-5. I'm not sure. Let's see. We had. Who haven't we seen? Oh, obviously it's
Austria.
It's Austria coming out
Against Scotland, I think. My guess is they haven't done those 2 yet.
We had Austria-France. We had Austria-Canada. So it's going to have to be Austria-Scotland. Yep, and here comes the Scottish team. Wow.
Oh, it's against Sweden. Haven't they done that?
I don't think so.
It's like I said, without the sheets anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, all of our notes, as we stated earlier, got soaked in the pounding rainstorm. But now we've got bright sunlight. And looks like there's some other storms coming in, though, so we'll see how the day evolves.
That changed a lot of stuff on the field, mind you, because now
does.
it's wet, now it's slippery. Even like earlier, one of the Scottish fighters slipped in the mud and fall, and then you lose one guy for a team on your team. And on a 5-versus-5, that's not good.
Very hard to, a lot of Hollywood movies and everything would make you think that one superior fighter can defeat 5 to 10 to 100 fighters. Generally not so, because the only strategy you have to do is have one fighter get a hold of them and the rest of them beat them down.
We saw that yesterday on our team.
We definitely saw that.
We did that to people, but at one point we had a very good runner, and a Mexican run him down with 2 guys to make sure he was not getting out of that corner. So I was fighting with somebody, getting him ready for my runner, turned around, there's nobody. Now I got to grapple the guy to the floor. He's a big guy. So you spend a lot of energy because of little mistakes like that, or mistakes or good strategy by your opponents on this point.
Well, and it's always difficult when you check one of your fighters, you go, he looks like he's doing good, and then you go to re-engage yours, and you look back, and the man you were counting on to be there is gone. Or he's gone, and the guy he was fighting is steaming toward you. That's not a good feeling. All right, here we go. Austria and Scotland.
No, Sweden.
I'm sorry. Sweden.
So 3 on one side.
Oh.
There's the engagement
and
on
he
the side.
did not go down.
And he let him run behind. That was a bit of a mistake there. Don't know if he can capitalize on it. Oh, he took his own man down with the other guy. Oh, that's not a good move. That mace is really short.
That's a bar mace. Not. Oh, the referees are making some sort of call.
It's 2 on 1, but he didn't see the Swede in his back. He shouldn't have waited until his friends engagement.
So
Suicide
Sweden.
move. But worked great on Sweden.
I had the pleasure last year in New Zealand to joust against 2 Swedes. Excellent matches, all of them. Matter of fact, the tournament was won by one of the Swedish competitors. A lot of fun, great guys.
And great food. So
Yeah, those meatballs they have,
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
meatballs, and you can have saffron bread.
Yes. All right,
That's my
well,
extent of knowledge of Sweden cuisine.
Austria is definitely going to have to pick it up on this fight.
Swedish look good. I mean, they're tough fighters. Their strategy is, I think, needs a bit of work, but they're really using it well.
The most foolish thing for Austria to attempt to do with this big Swedish team is to break off in one-on-ones.
Yeah.
They're going to need to have some movement and some trap plays. And I've heard, as a matter of fact, I had a discussion with a gentleman on YouTube who was saying that this is just a brawl. It's not. I mean, you can watch the strategy develop. You've got a 3-on-2 on the Austrian side, and then it's matched on the Swedish side, and then two runners at the same time.
Ooh,
and the
that
Austrian
is-
loses his feet.
That's not good.
That's costly. Oh, and you can tell it is slippery out there, folks. We
Oh,
have
he's still up.
people-
He's still up. He has no weapon.
Austrian fighter comes back, takes an axe. The
That's
gentleman
a
from
nasty
Scotland
hit.
got hit.
Sweden.
I'm sorry, Sweden. Too much blue.
That's a nice fight, that one. But it is slippery out there.
It is, you can tell.
Now it's a grappling against defense.
And is he down or is he not? The
He's
referees
not that
say
well.
he is still up. Well, we have two Austrians against the Swede.
Big hits.
If the Swede is smart, he will dig to that rail.
He's
Not get
trying
pushed
to.
over his own guy. And
They lose. It was a bit of a, it looked like a bit like, okay, I'm dragging him down and that's my last move of the day.
I'll try to get 1 point. All right. So we're going to a third round, ladies and gentlemen. Austria won.
Austria actually managed to get back from that bad slip on a corner there.
It's a very nice hound skull or houndstooth bassinet that the one Austrian fighter is wearing. You don't see those a lot in this competition because the protruding nose is a really good target.
I personally love to put my hand right under it and lift the head backward a bit to make sure the guy falls once you sweep his leg. But me personally, for having tried one, if it's not perfectly made, you won't see your own feet. You don't know where you're stepping.
It is difficult. It is difficult.
But that was my experience. But if you get a good one, you will see properly.
I only fought in one once, and I was at a jousting tournament in France, and they announced we were also going to have a fighting tournament.
Okay, surprise.
Exactly. Well, all right, let's see how this works.
But for jousting, it must be great helmet. I mean, they must deflect the lens.
It works very well for that.
All right, we're back for the third round. Let's see
All
what
right.
happens on that one.
We have Sweden 1, Austria 1, and the fight is on.
He goes
Here's a
across.
small Swede, who's obviously very, very good at running. He is causing chaos in the backfield.
There you go.
Oh, and a big hit from Eddie
He
falls.
slipped. Oh, my God.
No.
Running right now is risky.
Such a beautiful move.
Oh, oh my
It's
God.
Davos. We are down to a 2-on-2, folks. They are sliding out there. And the Swede gets
2-on-1,
put
2-on-1,
over
and it's
one of
the
his
small
own players.
Swedish guy. He must fight his heart out now to get out of that.
He's made the
bad
right
spot.
move. He's on the rail. He's dug in.
Yeah,
He's got two chances. I'm going to say they're slim and none, but he's still trying to work. Might be trying to work to that corner.
when they're 2-on-1 with no friends to help you, sometimes the corner is not your best friend.
Well-
Since it's a good spot to get beaten up also. But
That
he's
looks
keeping
like-
his back to the fence, which is a good move.
He's definitely trying a good throw there.
Oh,
But
he got
just,
thrown.
there's just not enough of him and too much of the two big Austrians.
But that was a beautiful run again. Quite unlucky for the Swedish that their runner that really did a big drop
Lost
slipped.
his feet.
Yeah.
Yep. That would have changed the entire complexion of that fight had he not slipped. But you can see the areas, especially the areas in the center that are losing grass due to wear from the fighters, are getting very, very slick.
Yep. That's going to be quite weird also when we're going to look at the longsword.
It's going to definitely factor into the longsword.
Last year I saw, because it rained like that the night before in Poland, fighters losing because they were falling to the ground and trying to catch back their balance, and the opponent scoring points while
Exactly.
it was really not fun.
matter of fact, that happened to your fighter, ATN.
Yep, Etienne got into that situation, and I think it was the Austrian actually he was fighting and got him like 5 shots in the back.
Yes, I was refereeing that match, and ATN lost his feet, had to turn his back to catch from falling down, and the Austrian capitalized, and that was the margin by which he won the fight. So
It is heartbreaking to say, okay, I'm going to let myself fall and lose a point when you think you can catch back your feet, but at the same time, if you do it wrong or if it doesn't work as much as you want, you're
Yeah.
going to get a lot of points scored
Absolutely.
against you.
Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the sport, one of the things that is required is medieval footwear. And the rule on that has changed quite rapidly over the last few years. I have a whole rack of shoes that were legal the year before and now aren't. Initially, we had to have medieval footwear, and we put lug soles on them, and then that wasn't legal. And you were allowed to have a flat rubber sole, and then that wasn't legal. And so we went to most of the American team are wearing period shoes with period hobnails in them, which works really well on the grass. But let me tell you, walking across these flagstones here at the castle, it's like being on ice skates.
Yeah. Personally, I don't like the up nails at all because I slip too much even in the grass with it. For some
Really?
reason, my footing is different maybe. So I go for period leather and I just make sure it's really worn out in a certain way that it can grab a bit. Oh, there we have Scotland versus France here.
Interesting poleaxe head there. You'll notice that in period times, probably the top and bottom of that would have a very abrupt spike to punch through armor. But of course, we want to have this competition last 4 days and have everybody standing up in the closing ceremonies that we're standing up in the opening ceremonies.
And that's why we can't stab. And pointy, pointy stuff usually stabs very well,
Yes.
even accidentally. A lot of those pole arms also had hooks on the back to
Yes.
grab on chainmail or whatsoever and pull. They would be great against horsemen because you can grab something in the armor and just pull him down or control him on his horse and you can finish the job.
Got a question about the Scottish armor here. The referee's taking a look. I don't think they like
The
the way
shoulder is not to the way they like. If there's too much of a gap and you get a nasty accent, which is going to happen with the French in any way, because as you can see, they love big axe and they know how to use it, you can break your collarbone, and that's
Very
not
easily.
fun.
Or separated shoulder. It's a rough sport. You got to make sure your armor works. And the thing is, a lot of times your armor will slip and you won't know it because you can't see it. And that's why it's good to have your compatriots who are taking the field with you, checking you constantly. And the referees are doing an excellent job at making sure that our fighters are as protected as they can be. Really big shield from the one Scottish fighter.
Yeah, that's more like a huge dual shield, and it looks heavy.
It looks very heavy.
I've never honestly seen people fight with that in the lists. At the World Championship, at least level, I've never seen it. I don't say it's a bad idea, but it's just not very common because usually we want both hands to be able to work. In this case, one hand is going to be very protective. He's not going to punch with that for sure.
You're not going to be able to move that much mass at any speed. It was interesting, last year when I was in New Zealand, they were holding a tournament there, and I was watching the tournament. I was jousting, but they were ground fighting. And after the tournament, one of the gentlemen came over and he said, "I know who you are. You watched the whole tournament and were scowling the whole time. What's wrong?" And I said, "Get rid of your giant kite shields, because it's an easy way for someone to grab onto that and control your arm. And you rarely see him. Let's see how he uses this one here. Maybe he's got a magic formula we don't know about."
We'll see if he can use it properly. I know against big axe, sometimes they can be useful, but a big axe can be used to pull it out also. Scotland again massing up in the center of the field. One guy's a bit isolated. French really spreading about.
Straight comes in for a shield barge, and yeah, that worked about as well as we thought it would.
Yep, sadly.
Yeah, we've got 2 Scots down already.
Ooh, big hits.
3 Scots down. And that's going to be 4, and that's the end of that fight.
Being kneed in the middle of a throat, that must have hurt.
Yep.
He's down flat. He's not moving. Hope he's okay.
And it's starting to rain again here.
We'll need our hats again.
Yeah, we're probably... I'm going to start that early with my beautiful chair hat. I have, if I do it this way, it's actually armored.
Yeah, that's it. Now you have your face covered the proper way.
It's kind of like
Look, let's go ask the marshals if they can,
Yeah, if we can qualify these helmets.
All
Hey,
right.
you can't see this on the feed, but Benoit and I look absolutely ridiculous at this point with
Actually,
plastic.
Eli is pointing at us and laughing his head off, right there by the center.
Yes, our other announcer. Yeah, he's bowing to us. Thanks, Eli. Love you too.
We're gonna make it
Now,
later.
something that's not known about Eli, a little known fact, is that Eli actually has the world's largest My Little Pony collection.
Oh, lovely.
He's been collecting them for a lot of years, for the New Zealand team. They've often had to speak to him because he keeps trying to mount them on his helmet. I guess he wants to put one of them, I think it's Rainbow Dash, on his
Well,
helmet.
you see later, he has one on his shield. He
That's
painted
true.
one on his shield. It's his actual
It's
coat of arm.
some pink one. I don't know which one that is. But, all right, and we're back to the fight.
And the French taking the field for the second round against Scotland.
Let's see what the Scottish guy with the hood off the 56 Buick Shield is going to do this time.
56 Buick shield.
It's
I like
about
that
the
one.
size of it.
All right, and they go in.
He comes in with another shield barge, which was totally ineffective last time, and was totally ineffective this time.
Yeah, he got taken down early.
And that's the end of that, folks. And just for good measure, the last Frenchman puts down the last Scot.
That was really quick. Barely anything to describe.
Very fast takedowns.
But the French are, for a team of new guys, they're really impressive.
And they're doing very well today.
I can't wait to see them on the next stage.
Yes.
Because I believe, I didn't count points, but I actually believe they're going to go on the next round. They only lost to Austria.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was trying to remember who they lost to, and it was Austria. Not sure if we have. Well, Canada's taking the field.
Okay. By the way, you want to be nice to the Scottish? They brought really fancy rum and scotch. So, as you can see, the French know how to capitalize on that.
Yes. Looks
Canadian
like
taking the field
Sweden
again.
is preparing. And
Yeah, I
we
don't
have
think
the
they fought
Canadian
against
team.
Sweden. Oh, it's a Northern fight.
Yes. And the valley we're looking out at here, Benoit and I, from our post up on top of the castle, really very foggy right now. Very dark and foggy.
Yep.
Oh, and we're getting a great feed from a GoPro filming Benoit and I with our lovely chair hats.
Why do I feel that's going to be made into a meme?
I think we're gonna get a meme on that one. IMCF fighters too stupid to come out in the rain, but not dumb enough not to put chairs on their head.
That's being passionate about a sport, people.
That's right.
We like it enough that we wear a hat, chairs on our head.
See, I've got the skill here now. I have my chair balanced on my head. Having to use no hands.
You have a flat head.
I must have a flat head.
Mind you, I must have a flat forehead because it's pretty much on that right now in my case. But
All right. We've got
Canada versus Sweden
taking the field against Canada.
That's going to be interesting.
The referee gets ready to send them out. Marshall on the field.
And it starts. 3 on one side.
Canadian coach yelling at them, don't clinch more than 4 seconds.
Oh, no. Ooh, almost fell with him.
One of the Swedish fighters just fell in the
Slip.
mud. Heartbreaking.
One Canadian is down. One more Canadian down. One more Canadian are taking a beating on that one.
The Swedes are definitely capitalizing on it, and that's the
It's
end
3
of
on 1.
that. Well, it's a 3 on 1, and the referee stopped the fight.
Again, like you said, without a national tabard, it gets a bit confusing.
It does get a little strange. Swede that fell right at the beginning, not happy with that.
No, but at least his team was able to
His
still
team
do
was
the job.
able to pull it out.
Well, we got a small group of crowd that didn't run away, and they're all under one umbrella. Maybe we should offer them a chair.
Yeah, we do have a spare chair. Anybody who would like to join us up here is welcome to a chair on their head. It's, I believe that this is going to be the new IMCF fashion trend. You'll be seeing this in Paris and Milan later this year.
London and Montreal as well.
It is, how do you say chair in French?
Chaise.
Chaise? The chapeau de chaise.
Oh, God. I got to have that painted on my shield as well.
Yeah, this is the glory of armored combat, standing in the pouring, freezing rain with a chair on your head. Yes.
So people, if you want to do this sport, you got to be ready to look ridiculous a few times in your life. All right, here they go for round two. I hope the Canadian can capitalize better.
We've got the Swede on the field with the gold clap visor. They're very mobile. He's starting off a run early. The rain is now shifting. It's coming in sideways.
And he's behind and he's going.
Oh!
He took him down, but he took him down as well. That was a beautiful move.
That was. I hope you guys saw that on the feed. We had one of the Swedes attack the Canadian. The Canadian dropped on him and flipped him over the top, and they both went down.
That fighter for Canada was killed. Oh, I think
the Canadian lost a weapon.
I think I'm having a bit of a problem with my equipment right now.
We've got a
Got
a 2-on-1 now. We have one Canadian left, and we've got two Swedes, and both the Swedes are armed with axes. And the Canadian has a nice shiny falchion that looks like he probably just bought today.
Well, it's not going to stay shiny now.
The Axemen are stalking him down, but they're kind of worried. The ground is so compromised at this point.
Oh, he lost his weapon.
He lost his weapon, and that's the end of that. So Sweden takes 2 rounds.
So it's a victory for Sweden against Canada. Are you getting what I'm getting?
What?
A lot of backfeed noise.
No, I'm not getting anything
Okay,
back.
so I think my headset is actually dying.
Well, luckily I think that is the last fight in this section. Next
we're
up
gonna
will
move
be
to
the
longsword.
longswords.
But before that,
now I'm getting it.
Yep.
Is this how Ace Frehley from Kiss got almost electrocuted?
I think so. So we're gonna die electrocuted with chairs on our head. Welcome to the IMCF, people.
Is that like dying with your boots on?
Something like that. Oh God!
Oh, we have more. Scotland and Austria in the Mud Bowl.
Yeah, that's a mud bowl.
The Scottish team member is still clinging to that gigantic kite shield, which has served him absolutely no good so far.
I gotta say, one of the things that's really interesting in the sport is that we travel a lot, and sometimes we're quite limited in what armor and weapon we can bring, and we get stuck with some equipment we don't actually like that much.
Yeah.
Personally, instead of having that shield, I would prefer having just my falchion in my head.
Exactly. Or put a mace in that hand and just plan on punching a lot.
Yeah, something
Because
like
he's
that.
tried shield charges both times we've seen him with that on the field. And the other fighter has basically grabbed a hold of the shield and just pushed him to the ground. So not quite sure why he's still using that. Although I think that's a different fighter that has it this time. No? Wait. No, same guy. Sorry. Because the first Scot on the field is the one with the chapeau de fer, the iron helmet. Iron
Chapeau,
hat.
actually.
Chateau, okay.
Chapeau de fer.
For our French commentary, I will allow Benoit to handle that.
Yeah, that might be better.
He's got the lampshade, the steel lampshade on his head.
Okay. Actually, even his sponge shield is huge.
Yes. I know enough French to be able to tell you I don't speak French.
Oh, that's good. See, I don't know that about my English, so.
No, it was funny. The first year that I traveled with the team, I had jousted in France the year before, and then we were fighting in France, so I did learn enough French to get by. The next year was in Spain, so learned enough Spanish to get by. The following year was in Poland, learned enough Polish to get by. This year we came to Portugal, and I said, you know what? I don't really feel like learning Portuguese.
Actually, one of the interesting things for me in Portugal is that in this part of Portugal, a lot of people speak French.
Ah.
So I was able to speak to about
There
everybody.
you go. Where the rain is intensifying.
And it's freaking cold.
We're going to need bigger chairs. One of our audio video technicians just came up to attempt to save his monitor. Oh, the Austrians are fighting with 4. They have decided to go 4 against the Scottish 4.
Oh, there's an injured Scottish, so they only have
Very-
4 fighters left.
Very chivalrous
honorable.
on their part. Scotland attempts to break.
That's the first time they do that move, and that's a good idea. Oof, almost lose fire.
Oh, and the man with the gigantic shield is down first.
Again. That's part of the learning curve.
The Scottish guys are great, but that's a long, flat learning curve for that guy.
Ooh, 2-on-1 now. The guy with the Chapelle de Fer is really tough.
Yeah, he fought 8 rounds in the longsword competition, and they finally ended it with a one-touch fight because everyone was so exhausted.
I've never saw that before.
I had not either. I think that was an Igor invention today.
Actually, good invention because 8 rounds is getting stupid. Against who was it?
I think it was against an Austrian.
Wow.
I'm not
He's
totally
still
sure.
not taking him down. 2-on-1. He's still standing.
There is someone shrieking encouragement below us. I don't think she's going to
That'd
speak.
be Julia, and actually Julia is one of the members of the Presidium. Also on the Esperanza.
Oh, finally takes him down.
I gotta say to that Scotsman, he's a tough.
What?
He's a tough guy, that
Tough.
Scotsman.
Very tough.
I mean,
Well, who out there isn't tough?
I know.
You step onto this field. That's exciting.
We got like an all-out alert.
I wonder if those sirens mean the same thing here that they mean in the United States.
Well, in the United States, we're about to blow up.
No, in the United States, that's a tornado siren.
Oh, that's not good.
And we just had security come onto the site in a van. I don't think that's a period authentic van. I'm not really sure what's happening here.
I don't know, but I know it's freaking cold.
It is cold and it is wet. Benoit and I'll be competing in a wet t-shirt contest later.
Later? We're doing that right now, right upstage.
We have no judges. I'm losing my headset.
Are they going for another run?
To remove my chair hat.
Everybody's running. I don't know why.
Yeah,
This doesn't look good.
this does not bode well. All the Portuguese people went running.
Yeah.
So-
We'll see what they tell us, but if you don't hear anything, yeah, Steve, the big cheese, the night marshal, the head ref, is looking at us and making a sign.
With our beautiful, do you like our?
He likes our hats.
Steve, my microphone is way away from my mouth. Yeah, Steve, our night marshal, was just signaling that he wants one of these chair hats.
Well, he can have one.
His birthday was yesterday, and so perhaps we should give him a chair hat.
Yeah. Another siren now. There's more and more starting. And they start for the second round.
Is this second round or third round?
Second round.
All right, second round. And here comes the gentleman with the gigantic kite shield again.
Well, they don't have any switch anymore. So.
That's true.
Yeah, hesitating as he go in.
And he attempts the same move.
Didn't work this time. He's
And it
down
didn't work again.
He's actually, if you people can see that, he was dipping his head forward,
Ah.
giving that a great handle for people to
absolutely.
throw him down.
If my friend Paul in Scotland is watching, I suggest you contact your countrymen. Tell him to lose the shield. It's not working. I know Paul watched yesterday because he commented on our feed, so he may be watching today.
You were saying before, somebody mentioned to you, it's only a brawl. It's so much more than that.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so much choice, so much strategy you can use and techniques you can use. Of course, in the middle of the field, while people are beating at you left, right, and center, the techniques doesn't look as pretty as in a dojo or in a class.
Well, and as Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until I punch them in the face.
Exactly.
And
And it's so true.
I've heard from so many people that don't do this, or people that are involved in other styles of medieval martial arts.